The hidden language of cat tail movements. What if your cat's tail was never just a tail? What if it was the one part of them that still tries to speak when everything else is quiet? You've seen it, flicking sharply, waving slowly, curling like smoke. We watch it move, and we guess. Happy, annoyed, nervous, we think we know. We match it to what makes sense. Simple signals, simple moods. But maybe that's just what we recognize, because we as humans carry emotion in the face. A furrowed brow, a widening smile, eyes that drop when we feel shame, lips that tremble when grief arrives. But cats, they don't show the same faces, not in the way we expect, not in the way we're taught to read. Aside from the loudest emotions, fear, rage, defense, most of what a cat feels doesn't show up in the eyes or even in their voice. It lives in the quiet curve of their tail, a gentle sway when you enter the room, a slow wrap around your ankle, a sudden stillness when you speak too sharply. All of it, a language most of us were never taught to hear. And here's where it gets more beautiful. Because they're not just reacting. Sometimes they're reflecting you. You thought it meant irritation. That sharp flick of the tail, back and forth, like a warning sign. Maybe it is, but maybe it's also worry. When their tail snaps across the floor and they keep glancing at the door, they're not just restless. They're watching for something you haven't seen yet. And when their tail curls, not high like a flag, but low and slow, wrapping around your foot, they're not asking for food. They're grounding themselves to you, like tying a thread to something steady, so they don't drift too far. Ever noticed how their tail seems to find its own rhythm when you're sitting quietly? Not wagging like a dog's, not begging, just moving, softly, intentionally, like it's brushing the air, writing words that can't be spoken. They curl it around their own paws when they feel safe. They twitch the tip when they're unsure. And sometimes they hide it completely, tucked in tight under their body, as if trying to keep the emotion from spilling out. A tail can whisper. It can echo a memory, or hold tension like a question left unanswered. And the most surprising part? Most of these moments aren't for them. They're for you. A tail that suddenly goes still when you stand to leave. A soft flick as you pass by, just enough to say, "I saw you." We miss it all the time, because we weren't taught that love could live in a gesture so small. But that's just the beginning. Let me show you how their tail doesn't just speak for them. It listens to you. There's something you might not have noticed, but your cat has. The way your energy shifts when your thoughts grow heavy. The way your footsteps change when your heart feels tired. They don't ask. They don't interrupt. But they feel it. And sometimes they answer with their tail. You're pacing around the house, mind spinning through 1,000 worries. Their tail begins to flick, quick, uneven, like it's chasing thoughts in the air. It's not random. It's not frustration. It's resonance. You sit down, finally. A sigh you didn't even know you held. And somewhere beside you, a slow sweep of the tail brushes against the floor. Steady, soothing, almost like it's trying to match your breath until you can find it again. When you cry, they may not run to you. But watch closely. Their tail will speak first. A small flick, a pause, a wrap around their body, as if they're holding your sadness with you. They don't always come closer. but they don't move away. They stay. And in that stillness, in that low, quiet posture with their tail barely swaying, they're saying more than you might ever hear out loud. Because to a cat, the world is loud enough already. So they speak with silence and feel through motion. Your bad day lives in the slump of your shoulders, and their tail mirrors it with softness. Your peace returns, and so does theirs. They stretch beside you, tail fully uncurled, flowing gently like a ribbon in calm water. That's not coincidence. That's trust. That's the moment they decide, you're okay now. So they can be too. And maybe they were never just watching you. Maybe they were holding space for you, quietly, faithfully, with nothing but the sway of a tail you barely noticed. Some days you don't have the words. You come home late, leave your bag at the door, and just collapse. No hello, no eye contact, just silence, thick with everything you didn't say. And still, they find you. Not with a meow, not with a leap into your lap. Just a slow approach, a soft pause near your feet, and a tail, gently sweeping the floor beside you. Not asking, not demanding, just being there. Their body doesn't touch yours, but the tail does. A whisper across your ankle. A quiet, I'm here, in a world that forgot to ask how you're feeling. Sometimes they sit nearby, eyes half closed, tail curled in a perfect spiral beside them. Not sleeping, just holding space. As if their presence could take the shape of something you lost. And in those moments you realize they don't need to understand your words, because they've already understood your silence. Their tail doesn't translate your pain. It echoes it, softly, faithfully, like a lantern flickering in a hallway, not lighting the path for you, but refusing to go out. You didn't train them to do this. You didn't ask. But they stayed. They always stayed. With the only part of them that kept moving when the rest of the world stood still. Maybe now you'll notice it. The way their tail shifts when you wake up crying in the middle of the night. The way it curls tighter when you speak in a softer voice. The way it flicks, not away from you, but for you. Because they've been speaking this whole time, not with words, but with motion, with stillness, with presence. And if you've ever felt it, that silent thread between your heart and their quiet little body, you're not alone. Some bonds don't need to be loud. Some love just lives at the end of a tail. Tell us, has your cat ever said something without saying a word? We'd love to know, because sometimes those are the voices that heal us most.